This is exciting. Some feminists got maybe you heard about this, they got a sex strike going over the weekend. The strike started with Alyssa Milano, who's been in convulsions of rage for days now over the Georgia abortion law. And finally on Friday, she decided to take things up a notch, and she said, we're going to do a sex strike. This is what she said. Our reproductive rights are being erased. Until women have legal control over our own bodies, we just cannot risk pregnancy. Join me by not having sex until we can. So that's just kind of a funny phrase. Join me by not having sex. Anyway, join me by not having sex until we get bodily autonomy back. I'm calling for a hashtag sex strike. Pass it on. Now, a number of feminists came out in support of the sex strike, and they got it trending on social media. Reading a couple of supportive comments, just to give you an idea. Maureen Shaw said, our feminist foremothers fought for sexual liberation, which goes hand in hand with bodily autonomy. It's up to us to protect it. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Sex strike. It sounds like a movie or something. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Sex strike. Columnist Sarah Reese Jones says, hey, everyone upset about Melissa Milano's sex strike. Thanks for helping this trend. That was the point, because women's lives are in danger. P.S. It's not Alyssa Milano's fault that our culture is patriarchal. She doesn't own that just because she's acknowledging it. Someone else says, sorry, boys. Yes, I said boys. Men should know better than to make decisions on something they know nothing about. Our bodies, our choices. Hashtag sex strike. And then there were some men who were supporting expressing their support of the sex strike as well. One guy said, men have autonomy over their own bodies. Women deserve equal reproductive rights, free from government interference. I join my friends Alyssa Milano in supporting a sex strike until women have equal protection under the law. All right, there's a lot to be said here about this, but I want to focus just for a moment at the beginning here on these pitiful men. I mean, imagine being a weak, emasculated, submissive man who supports the murder of children because you're afraid that feminists might yell at you if you don't support it. And you've given up your soul and your man card and your masculinity and your credibility and your respect and everything in order to obey your feminist overlords. And you hope that at least it will help you, with the ladies, you're thinking, because you're kowtowing to them. But actually it doesn't. It has the opposite effect, because all of the truly beautiful and worthwhile women want nothing to do with a submissive milksop who tolerates the killing of children. And so that's already backfired on you. And now you find that even the women who will potentially be with you have now boycotted sex, so that you and your fellow wimpy men are the only ones being punished. You've given up everything, and now they're boycotting you because that's the thing. Of course, conservative men want nothing to do with feminists, so conservative men are not affected by this. It's only going to be men like this guy that tweeted this. They're the only guys who are going to be affected. And so then what do? You go online and pretend to support the measure. Say, yes, I support this sex strike too. I am sure. These guys are so pathetic. I almost feel sorry for them. Almost. But then I remember that they are apologists for the mass killing of children, and so I don't feel so bad anymore. I get very close to feeling bad for them, and then I remember who these guys are, and all of a sudden that sympathy goes away.